It's time for us to review the front pages of the newspaper, and doing justice to that with us is Prince Francis Chilaka. He's a social commentator. Good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
Welcome.
Pretty ladies.
Oh, well.
So much.
Well, we're starting off today on the cover of The Guardian this morning. And there is a headline bottom left of the paper that says, more trouble for students as JAMB's biometrics verification falters. We've heard things like this before. Where do you think this story is going to go?
It's unfortunate that we keep falling back into the same hole we crawled out of. You know, it's sad for those who are doing JAMB, because this same thing played out last year, and they had to postpone JAMB and all of it. So why are we not getting things right in this country? It's really, really, you know, upsetting and annoying that so much money has been invested and little result is coming out. You know, so we're still going to go back. But then I asked myself, when the telecoms came up with their own form of biometrics, it didn't take time for people to get it done. So what is the problem? Why can't we devise a system that allows the students to do this biometrics in their homes, using their laptops, using their phones? So I don't understand why we keep talking about Ministry of Science and Tech and we're still not moving forward. It's sad.
Wow.
Has there been any explanation so far from their end?
Well, I haven't heard any, but I know that at the end of the day, they're going to tell you there are hitches here, there are these problems there. But it's just the fact that a lot of people in office don't understand what they're doing in those offices. There is no accountability. You know, nobody wants to take responsibility. You know, you have a tech department, an IT department. Let them do their job. Let Nigerians understand why people are paying so much to take up JAMB exam.
Thank you very much, sir.
So we'll take one on the Daily Trust. This particular one has actually bugged a lot of people's minds, and it's doubt over Buhari's fresh $800 million loan request, right?
So,
and this is at a time where
that word
Nigeria,
fresh is there.
yes, is currently owing 77 trillion naira. Is this a good time for any sort of loan at all?
I would say this with all sense of responsibility. We need to stop playing politics with everything we do in this country. We need to understand that the loyalty of Nigerians falls first to the country before party affiliation or before individuals. Asking for another 800 million, it's mind-boggling. It's like we don't even know what we're doing. It's like we're just, how do I put it? I don't know how to. I feel so bitter because it's touching the sensitivity of Nigerians, you know. And then you keep telling us every time the poor of the poorest. Who are they? How did you get this database? We don't even have a database of how many we are as citizens of this country. But you have a database of the poorest of the poor. Who is not poor? I mean, you're looking sweet and all of that, but I know that when we say open your account now, you will tell me you don't have money. So everybody in Nigeria needs money. And then you're going to give people 5,000 naira. Do you know that the moment you give somebody 5,000 naira, you are increasing inflation? Because you're going to change their lifestyle over a period of 6 months. Then what happens thereafter?
What happens? Is it sustainable?
So I don't understand. I keep saying governance is not about what the government wants for the people, but rather what the people want for themselves. So the government should be able to ask Nigerians, what do you want? So that we can deliver to you, not what I think they should want. And this has been the problem of, you know, the bane of our problem in this country.
I think there's a follow-up story on the Senate presidency regarding dissent in APC aspirants demanding fresh zoning formula. I'm not sure if you've been following the story.
No, I think this whole thing about zoning is actually dividing this country more. We need to allow competency to prevail. And I think it's time that, you know, the senators on their own come together and elect their leaders. That is what pure democracy is all about. So this whole thing about it's being zoned to this region, and then whoever the region brings out, nobody wants to care. It's politics. We need competence. We need to have people who understand governance, who would give direction, who would be able to say the legislative arm is on its own and can function the way it should function. So I am one of those who believe that it is time we allow the elected senators to sit down a round table and elect their leaders.
Well, on the Vanguard, on the cover of the Vanguard newspaper, there's this story. It's actually making the headlines on most of the papers here. 22 billion naira fraud. EFCC arrest ex-power minister Saleh Mamman. What do you have to say about this quickly?
Nigeria is a country where each time you talk about fraud, you're not talking about millions or thousands.
Billions.
You're talking of billions. And it shows, the wicked mindset of certain individuals. How can you be, how can you be put in a position of responsibility and rather than deliver to the people, it is yourself you're thinking about. We need to have a system that makes people accountable. Accountability is a problem in this country. And I'm hoping that the next government will focus on it. The next government should focus on accountability. That is the only way you can fight corruption. Without accountability, corruption will continue to prevail. So it's not new. What the question is, arrested, yes, or whatever, but how far will the investigation go? How far will the person be convicted? We've had so many cases, so many billions that are stolen by individuals, yet how many has been recovered? So I think that the coming government has a lot of job to do, especially in the economic sector of this country. And the economic sector of this country can only move forward when such issues are curbed, and those who are culpable are punished. Punished to the fact that in such a way that others will not want to do it. But we hardly get people punished in Nigeria. We hardly. And I'm going to digress. That is why some of us are happy with what has played out with Senator Ekweremadu. If he was in Nigeria, obviously he would have gone, scot-free. So, but we need to have a system that punishes people so that others will not be able to do the same. So it is sad, but the question is how far and how well will the investigation go?
I was actually, I saw a photo on social media of Ekweremadu shaking hands with the now King of England. And it just felt like a complete spin of things. If, for instance, it was Nigeria, he probably would, as you said, have gone scot-free.
Well, like I said, so many. Okay, so still on the Vanguard newspaper, this particular story has actually sparked a lot of interest, especially after a viral video I'll just read the story here. BVN has no expiry dates, says the CBN. So this comes after the viral video that went, round of someone saying that, BVN will only take 10 years. And, so the CBN has come forward to say, well, no, there's no expiry dates. What do you have to say about that?
The problem we've had with agencies of government is lack of information. People are not carried along. And this is where the National Orientation Agency has failed Nigerians and continue to fail Nigerians.
I agree.
Each time there's a policy, each time there's a law, each time there's something new, they are supposed to be in the forefront to explain it 1, 2, 3 to Nigerians. They don't do that. And you see, when you don't provide information, you allow people to come up with their own. And that is what has played out. Somebody probably must have discussed with somebody who was in CBN and gotten the information and decided to put it out. And now, is this a time for CBN to come and tell Nigerians that? CBN should have been able to tell Nigerians, ab initio, that BVN is forever. You don't need to have any cause to go and revalidate it and all of that. But it's good the guy did that, because if he didn't do that, we wouldn't have had
especially in an era where
now.
fake news is,
rampant.
It's rampant. And then
No, but what is fake news? We need to understand what is fake news. When you don't provide the right information, you allow people to, dig out their own information. So it's not like it's not fake news. It's the fact that you have not provided
Provided
information for people to work with.
We have to say a big thank you to you, sir, for coming to contribute on today's show. We would also love your contributions. We would love to know what your thoughts are about the headlines in today's dailies. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC and let us know. At this point,
We're going on a quick break now, people. Stay with us. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit.